I can say I gave it everything I had. I mean, every week, So, and maybe it means an interception on 4th and 18 when you're down 10, because I don't care that it's going to say 2 interceptions. I really don't. It's just like I ain't quitting. So I think that doing it with so many guys over 14 years, and going to the locker room, win or lose, and I can say, dadgummit, we're short. We fell short, or we won. But shoot, I couldn't try it any harder. So I think 2 different kind of elements there, but I think that's the 2 things that come to my mind. Ralph, All right, thanks. All right, guys.
Phillip Rivers with his final post-game press conference.
That was strong.
Chargers.
How great was
which
that?
likely will be his final post-game press conference with the Chargers. Jay Glazer was on Colin Cowherd's show yesterday, and Glazer texted me last night because it took on a life of its own. Glazer said that the Chargers have moved on from Phillip Rivers, so that became Glazer is reporting the Chargers have moved on from Phillip Rivers, and Glazer says, I never reported that, but they've moved on from Phillip Rivers. I mean, the bottom line is he's moved out of California.
I mean, right.
They're not bringing the guy back. They're not. His cap number would be over $27 million if they franchise tag him. He was not very good last year. He had 23 turnovers against 23 touchdowns. He's not the guy that he was. It's time for the Chargers to move on for a variety of reasons, Peter. Football and business reasons. They need somebody that's going to sell tickets and PSLs and help the Chargers become a team that LA gives a crap about. So I think it's a true mutual parting. We hear all the time there's a mutual parting. This is a true mutual parting. He doesn't want to stay, and they don't want him to stay, and now he moves forward to wherever he ends up.
Somebody in the LA market said to me when I said, hey, look, it'd be great if the Chargers could have Tom Brady on a billboard on the 405 in Orange County. Hey, buy your tickets, 1-800-CHARGERS, and have a picture of Tom Brady. That'd be great.
Right.
And this person said, well, my point is, I think if they had a billboard of Teddy Bridgewater right now, that would sell more tickets than if they had a billboard of Phillip Rivers. Nothing against Rivers, but it's only that they want something new.
Yeah.
We've seen Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
We saw what happened last year, and he's an older quarterback, so it's time to go. It's time to move on. And so that's really where I think the Chargers would have to be. Mike, here's the 2 interesting points about the next quarterback of this team. Number one, if it is Tom Brady, they've got a lot of free agents who they have to be worried about. So who are they going to spend their money on, first of all? And second of all, if they're not selling a lot of tickets at this stadium and they have the franchise relocation, they have all this other stuff to worry about, you tell me, where's all this money going to come from if they're not selling a lot of luxury seating in this new stadium?
Yeah, I mean, the Chargers. We talked about this a lot. The Chargers, they need some sort of fresh look, star power, whatever it may be.
They need Cam Newton.
Yeah,
right.
I hear that. That makes a lot of sense.
I think that's a great candidate for that.
That makes a lot of sense. With Phillip Rivers, hey, yeah, it's over with the Chargers. It's okay. It was a great run. It's phenomenal. It really is. I got so much respect for him. I mean, Peter and I were sitting here talking as we were just watching the clip, going, man, I really like that guy. And you talk about the consecutive start streak. That's an impressive accomplishment. To me, it's way more impressive than what Eli Manning's was, because Phillip really hung in the pocket all day long and would get lambasted and then still would just get up. The big thing is what is the next move, guys? What are the teams? Jacksonville, Bucks, Miami. I'm just throwing teams out there.
I think he's in the same spot Eli Manning was in, and Eli Manning was sufficiently self-aware to realize no one's going to offer me $25 million a year. No one's going to say you're the guy no matter what, and we're not going to draft somebody in round 1. I think that's what you run the risk of doing if you're Phillip Rivers and you do a $20 million.
I don't think he cares though. Almost.
I just don't know. Look, if I'm the
Buccaneers, be a backup of Jameis Winston and just go, you know what, he's going to screw it up, and I'm going to take over at one point, or maybe Bruce Arians is going to call him and say, I'll let you duel it out with Jameis in training camp, and the best man wins.
I don't think you can pay both guys. I don't think you're going to keep Winston if you're bringing in Phillip Rivers.
No, it's way too much money. That's $55 million on the cap for quarterbacks. But I would make this one point. Somebody said to me this weekend after the performance of Justin Herbert at the Senior Bowl, for those who don't know, Justin Herbert, the quarterback from Oregon, had a great Senior Bowl week. He was voted the best player
Incredibly
there
talented.
And all that.
Incredible.
And most people were thinking, okay, 2 quarterbacks in the top 5. Okay, but now what happens if Washington, instead of automatically taking Chase Young, What happens if Washington says, we'll take 3 ones for this pick? Or 3 ones in something. Somebody moves up maybe to number 2 to get either Tua or Herbert, and then somebody moves up to get the other guy. All of a sudden, everybody who becomes a quarterback candidate, let's say the Carolina Panthers, let go of Cam Newton, and then they're in the quarterback market. They got to move up for one of these guys. And so everything we're saying about Phillip Rivers, yes, I get it, I understand, but let's say you take Justin Herbert and you say, hey, listen, we'll go get a Josh McCown for 1 year to sort of help him get ready, and Josh McCown maybe can play for a while. But all I'm saying is I think everything in the quarterback market is bizarre, unanswered, and unanswerable until we find out what happens early in free agency. And that's why the Brady story in New England is going to be a wrench in the works to this, Mike.
It's the first domino. It's the first domino. We have to know if Tom Brady's staying, because if he's not, that is a huge domino. Phillip Rivers is out there. And Peter, something occurred to me as you're explaining that. There's an opportunity for a Phillip Rivers post-draft. He can just sit back and wait and see that there's going to be somebody.
There's going to be one musical chair left.
Yeah.
And maybe it's Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. I could see him saying, I'll take Rivers for a year, and then let's draft somebody, and we'll see what happens. We'll take Jordan Love, in the second round. He wasn't as good at that, and I have no idea where any of these guys are going.
Right.
But all I'm saying is that right now, this is the most unsettled quarterback market and situation around the NFL that I ever remember.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, you're right. I mean, then you got to take into fact, like, there's the Teddy Bridgewaters and the Andy Daltons that are going to be out there.
What happens, as someone said to me, with a prominent quarterback, a general manager said to me, what would you think if we made an offer for Taysom Hill? Right. What would you think? How much of an offer? What's too rich for the Saints' blood to match?
Right.
I said, I don't know. I said, I don't have any idea what the Saints really think of him, but I honestly think that Sean Payton has it in his mind, I'm really going to give this guy a shot.
Yeah.
He does.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. We've all heard these things.
The Blazers definitely reported yesterday. They envision him to be a franchise quarterback. He's already compared him to Steve Young, and this is part of the delicate dance that they're doing with the Saints. They'd like to keep Drew Brees around, but I think they're going to make Drew Brees an offer that he may not want to accept from a financial standpoint, from a role standpoint.
Yeah. And what happens if Drew Brees, as has been widely rumored, has a great television offer, not for nearly the money, but he says, I've kind of accomplished what I can accomplish here. I'm going to go do X on TV.
Well, the fact that he's thinking about it, to me, is a little bit of an alarm. I mean, you don't hear Tom Brady going, I'm thinking about retirement.
Right.
I'm playing. He made the comment. So I think that is very odd that conversation is going in Brees. That tells me there's a little crack in the armor a little bit to go,
okay, all right.
I'm not sure if I really can do this or can do it to the level I want to anymore.
All right, so we got to talk about Brady for a second because in my opinion, when Adam Schefter reported the Patriots want to know before free agency, they want Tom Brady's decision. Tom Brady, for 20 years, has never had the ability to be free and to go out and say, hey, let's see what's out on the market out there. And now the Patriots are saying, okay, we're going to give you your freedom. And by the way, if you don't decide by the first day of free agency, see you later. We're going on to somebody else.
But won't he know? But he'll know by then. They're going to know. They're going to know at the scouting combine who wants him and who doesn't, right?
Yeah, but does that mean that
you just don't like them drawing the hard line to a guy like Tom Brady?
I don't understand why, if you gave him the ability to be a free agent, if you said you can be a free agent, oh, by the way, you can be a free agent, but if you don't decide by the first day of free agency, see you later.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
They're going to be stuck without a quarterback if they wait around for Tom Brady to make up his mind, because then
what if you
Teddy
say
Bridgewater's gone?
All you have to say to Teddy Bridgewater is that, who I'm sure would love to play for Belichick, love to play with Josh McDaniels. All you have to do is say to Bridgewater, give us till the third day of free agency. Why does Teddy Bridgewater have to decide right away?
Because there may be another team that says, we want you right now. This happens all the time. When they get into that 48-hour window where you're allowed to negotiate with guys, I'm telling you, teams call agents and they say, here's the offer. We need to know right now. And if you don't tell me right now, we're moving on to the next guy. That's
okay, call their bluff then. I'd call their bluff.
And then you may end up backing up Jameis Winston in Tampa. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, you know how New England works. This is the way they work. They don't care if it's Brady or Wes Welker.
That's not how Robert Kraft works.
Well,
that's how Bill Belichick works.
You're right. It's the way Bill Belichick works. You're right. And
I think that we'll know. Tom Brady will know before that deadline.
I would think so.
They'll know
probably
what they're going to do. He'll know what he's going to do. But that's the first domino.
The quarterback
really,
situation is
this is
fascinating.
A crazy offseason, and people haven't gotten their arms around the idea that Tom Brady may indeed leave the Patriots. I think once people understand that, the entire
why
level of
will not
interest
people realize that might happen?
Why?
Nobody can picture it. It's Brady, New England. They go together.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.